causing, though, quite a stir.
Over 1 million people in the U.S. are infected with HIV. A startling 1 in 7 people living with HIV/AIDS are unaware of their infection. Now a drug, referred to as PrEP, has proven to be over 90% effective in preventing HIV infection. The emergence of this new safety measure is so exciting for people at high risk for the disease that it was even a topic of discussion on HBO's hit show Looking.
If there's a pill that can prevent HIV, everyone should take it.
Believe me, I would have been the first in line.
Yeah, but taking a pill just so you can...
Yeah, it's like birth control, actually.
Well, it's not really the same.
In the same way that birth control liberates women, PrEP can liberate gay men.
And though the drug is being hailed by the gay community as life-changing, heterosexual couples who have one HIV-positive partner are celebrating the fact that they can finally have a full, healthy relationship that can even lead to childbirth.
We're now joined by board-certified internist and HIV specialist, Dr. Jorge Rodriguez, along with one of the stars of HBO's Looking, Daniel Franzese. Welcome, gentlemen, to you both.
You're bringing something to the screen that we haven't really talked much about, you know?
I know, it's really exciting. I think it says a lot for, HBO and the creators of the show that they were including a character who's HIV positive and is living with HIV and not a victim. So this is something that with GLAAD and with the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, which I'm an ambassador for, we've been working really hard to reignite Hollywood's interest in creating more characters on screen that are telling stories about people that are HIV positive, because with over 1 million people that know their status right now, it's not enough right now in the stories that we're telling.
Oh, that's right, and I applaud you for playing a character with this much sensibility about it and coming on and Dr.
Rodriguez, let's back up really quickly and just explain to everyone watching what they call PrEP is, right, and some of the nuts and bolts of how it's being prescribed.
Sure, well, PrEP, a lot of people think that PrEP is the medication. PrEP is actually the method. So think of PrEP as birth, similar to birth control, and there are many different brands of birth control pills, right? So PrEP, pre-exposure, so before you come into contact, prophylaxis, prevention. So it is basically taking one pill, which is 2 medications in it, every day, just in case you come in contact with HIV. So actually the medication is very safe. It's called Truvada, but I think in the future there are going to be different ones, but it's 1 pill a day, and it is as effective as up to 97% in preventing HIV, right? Which is startling if and only if you take the medication every day. And that's a big if, because a lot of people don't.
And that's where we're going to get into some of the discussion here. So that also, other people always ask me, okay, how much does it cost? Who pays for it? Who's eligible? Who is this actually being prescribed?
All right, perfect. The medication has been FDA approved for this purpose. And if you go on the CDC website, you'll see that it is for, and I kind of cringe a little bit when they say, oh, it's for gays. It's for anybody that has blood, that has sexual contact with other people in an unprotected fashion. All right?
Actually, the CDC kind of recommends it for anyone who's high risk.
Absolutely. So if you are a single person and you have more than one sexual partner, all right, you may want to consider this. If you are in a mixed relationship, or what I call magnetic, 1 positive, 1 negative, then you're at higher risk. And this actually is very freeing for a lot of couples. The first studies were actually done on heterosexual couples. Almost 4,000 couples in Uganda and Kenya, because this is something hard to prove.
What I love about this is because as HIV continues to rise in the community, there are going to be more HIV discordant couples, meaning I'm in love with someone who has HIV and I don't, so I don't want to get it, so this is perfect. But what bothers me about this, particularly as an African-American woman, if I told everybody, just go and take this pill, instead of being responsible, instead of using condoms, then is the idea
I think it's important to note that you have to use condoms as well.
Right, and that's what the studies always say. You have to use safe sex. This is an extra layer of protection. By no means am I saying this is, the holy grail.
But if you use condoms consistently and correctly, an 85% reduction of risk versus 90 on taking a pill every day that I got to come and get checked, I got to come every 3 months to get my labs
really real. As a physician that deals with this all the time, every time somebody comes into my office because they've had an exposure, oh, the condom broke. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how many people are really being honest with themselves. So this is one way of saying, if you're playing risky, this is an extra layer.
The one thing that I want to to throw out is, does this just make maybe a younger generation a little more carefree, and then they miss a few doses? And that's a real concern amongst a lot of doctors.
I understand, but I don't think promiscuity is really the issue here. The issue is that we have tools to cut down new infections by 96% if we use them.
So I guess the whole idea
So we can really eradicate that now, and today we can really eradicate the disease. We can end HIV and AIDS now if we're using
If
the proper
everyone
tools.
took this
Yeah, but we can also eradicate HIV and AIDS if we put more money into educating people and talk to people a little more about it. Because the problem here becomes, if everyone becomes infected with HIV, they're taking Truvada. If everyone doesn't become infected with HIV, they're on Truvada too.
Well, maybe, I don't know. You know, but my point is
Whatever it
that,
takes.
seriously, what I see in my office is that to think that people are always being safe out there is a fantasy. Seriously, to think that everybody is acting responsibly is not the real world. So I'm not judging or having a moral issue.
Don't you remember the 90s and the 90s when they really started talking about condom usage and the way that HIV went down?
You know, just say no, it doesn't work. So this is something that is an option.
It's an
Another
option.
tool.
There you
Another
go.
tool.
There you
And it
go.
is
It's not like the answer, it's another tool.
Okay, so great discussion here. More when we return.
Coming up next, the debate over a cure for HIV.
I'm glad that HIV in the media is making a resurgence because it's still